All right, let me live on Facebook to Womb Awakening Book Club.
This is what has happened to my.
Yeah, I know, me too. Some of the pages came out.
And like the cover, it's like really so damaged from all the traveling with it as well.
Been well loved.
Yes.
Okay, so now, okay. All right, now I'm ready to hear what you said. Chalice of Living Light.
Yes, the chalice of living light, awakening the resurrection body, if you want to add that.
Okay, and then Fred, what do you think we should say about the video?
Sorry, what?
What do we think we should say about the description? Join. Like, it's been a long while and a lot has happened for all of us on the planet. Here, Fred and Diana are back with our new partner, Nicole, partner co-creator, or we've with Nick. I'll just say with Nicole. You want to use your whole name or Katzender?
No, it's okay, just Nicole, if it's okay with you guys.
Oh,
It's your name.
Yeah, I mean, you're not putting Fred Cluth, you're just putting Fred, right? So just
right,
put
right.
Nicole.
Fred and Diana
James Cluth the third.
with Nicole to um, talk about the chalice of living light and awakening the resurrection body.
Through womb, uh, I don't know if you want to add that, through womb cosmology, since we're going to speak about the womb church, the original mystery school.
And womb
Church, cosmology.
Oh, wait. I'll say, period. We will discuss womb cosmology, beginning with a reading from the book. And what page is that? Page
97.
97. Um, uh, we will close with a practice we learned. We studied practice we did while in apprenticeship with Azra and Saren.
Yes. I'm just getting a glass of water. I don't know.
Oh,
Who's that? Yeah.
a little baby.
It's just beer taste.
comments?
Wizard.
What?
Wizard.
It's
How was the job?
not bad.
All right, I'm gonna
I
get
don't
my
know. It's a
phone.
job.
What?
Glad to have it.
Okay, we'll see
Want
you.
a different one, but it'll serve me for now.
Oh, sweet munchkin. They were out biking. Their neighbors were biking.
The neighbors or what?
They were out biking.
Uh-huh.
You'll feel better soon. Have fun. He took a little tumble on his bike.
Aw.
Yeah. Okay, just in case, I'm gonna close these windows for later. Okay, so it's been a long while and a lot has happened for all of us on the planet. Whew. Brad and Deanna are back with Nicole, are live tonight with Nicole to talk about the chalice of living light and awakening the resurrection body. We'll discuss womb cosmology. We will journey with womb cosmology, beginning with a reading from the book and close with a practice we did during our training. A close with a practice we learned.
Just to
Or a
practice.
body prayer. Close with a body prayer.
Yeah, we'll close with a body prayer. How long are we going to do the body prayer for?
Body prayer we learned from Saren and Azra Bertrand.
I say we do for like maybe organically 5 minutes, like maybe we go around, because we're not going to be looking at the time, but you know, like we
Yeah, I
can
can keep track of time, like 3 to 5 minutes. It's a lot to hold. It's a taste, and it's a lot to hold your hand up like that.
Yeah, and we can, like you said, go around maybe 3 times, you know, so maybe you begin, and then Fred could go after or whatever, and then I go and we say something that it's coming into the moment, and we can do this for 3 times, and then you close it up. No?
Sure. That sounds good.
You feel this way? We can then.
We should do a little opening before we do the turn the video on.
Yes.
Open the space. Let me know when you're ready,
Oh,
Dan.
it's so nice to actually see 3 faces here, you know? I mean, it's interesting and to be doing this. And actually, I love this book so much, and I like this idea also to come back to the book and to do this way. There's so much. I haven't finished the second book, the Mary Magdalene, and you know, this book, it's every time I open and I read again, even though I read it already, it's just something else that lends.
Yeah. I haven't read the new one at all.
What?
I haven't read the new one at all.
Yeah, I've begun, but I've then stopped somewhere. But even the new one also just it's not the same as the Womb Awakening, but still it's so powerful. And they did a lot of research with the Hebrew aspect and.
Okay, I got it. Do you need me to repeat and read this, or?
Okay.
I'll just do it.
Okay. All right, so why is it not saying go live? Check that your stream is connected and all required information is done before going live. Why? Oh, is it too? Why? Facebook has not received video signal from the video source for some time. Maybe I took too long. All right, I'm gonna copy this and then we'll start again. We'll do our opening and then I'll do the connection and paste this in. Hang on. Bear with me. Let me put this in the notes. It kind of stalled out. Okay, close. We're not doing that. Close that. Okay, let's open. All right. Fred, Wizard, Wise One, would you lead the opening, please?
Okay.
Ground us in this masculine, beautiful energy.
I welcome both of you and myself to this circle, the first circle for all three of us. May our hearts and souls be connected. My heart to your heart, my soul to your soul. I open up the light inside myself to connect to the light inside of you and the light inside of all who join this video and who do not join the video. We open up this realm of communication. I call upon my ancestors. I call upon our ancestors. I call upon our guides. I call upon our helpers, all the archangels, all of the womb shamans before us and in front of us. May we all carry this chalice forward as Grail priestesses and Grail knights, womb priestesses. This great lineage, may it be reawakened in all of our hearts and souls and bodies as we carry this sacred message. And all who need to hear this magic and medicine, may they come forth. I call upon all invisible and visible beings who seek out healing. May our messages be true, may they be clear, and may they come to all who need it. As we open up this great channel of energy, may our guidance and may our messages be guided. May our school be open to all who need the healing and the knowledge, and may our messages be passed throughout time and throughout each new generation. We come in love, we open up our hearts, our spirits, and now let's open up our channel of communication. So be it, and so it is.
Amen.
Okay. Thank you, Fred. Okay. Preparing live streaming preview. Posting. And about to go live. And here we go. 1 second. Okay. Setting up meeting, redirecting.
We're now streaming live on Facebook.
And now live. Hello, virtual world. Welcome to our Womb Awakening Book Club. We are talking about, speaking of resurrection, we're talking about the chalice of living light, awakening the resurrection body. It's been a minute since Fred and I have been on here, and we've been talking about and planning to be on here with a number of offerings, and it just hasn't happened. And life happened, and we've all been through so much and around the world and living, riding the waves of these transformational, trying times. And we're here tonight with Nicole, our friend Nicole Katzender, and we're going to be talking about the chalice of living light, awakening the resurrection body. So we're resurrecting the energy in this group to discuss this beautiful book, The Womb Awakening, by Azra and Saren Bertrand. So we have an excerpt we wanted to read, kind of following the model that we had done before, and then we were going to all just tune in from our Creative Power Center, the lower Dantian, the Hara, the womb, and then share some reflections and talk about womb consciousness, womb cosmology, just in an organic way, what comes up. And then we'll close with a body prayer we learned from Saren and Azra during our practices with them when we were training with the Fountain of Life. So, does anybody else want to say anything before I do this reading? Would you like to chime in to this opening? I should say we opened this sacred circle before we came on here, so just imagine that all of your guides and spirit guides and ancestors have already been invited to this container for this very brief time we're going to have together, just a little taste. So welcome to those who are watching live and who will watch at a later time.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for having me here, and bringing my hands back to this beautiful book as we decided to read today this page. And thank you,
Nicole. Because people haven't been introduced to you, could you just briefly introduce yourself and what you do?
Well, I am continuously journeying with this beautiful womb consciousness that keeps inviting me to rebirth and embody more of my divinity. So I've journeyed with Diana and Fred with the 9 Moon Apprenticeship, and I've been, since my personal journey of awakening my womb, I've been mentoring and holding space for other women and some men to also reconnect with their creative center. Yeah, that's about it. So
that's great in a nutshell. That's a lot. It's a lot of work holding that space and a beautiful calling to kind of midwife, be a doula for people's healing process and transformation and coming through this portal of awakening consciousness and reawakening and stripping away all those layers of conditioning and that we keep bumping up against those edges in our work or in our family lives. So yeah, the work is continual. No matter how much work we've done, it seems to continue, but it gets easier and life becomes more joyful, and all of the nitty gritty realities become you're more empowered to take action to make the changes happen that need to happen in the world.
Yes. Yes.
Freddie, did you want to say anything before I read?
What's coming through for me is the importance of this idea of resurrection. You know, we've kind of been in this holding pattern since March where our lives have been kind of turned upside down. And it's not only our individual lives, but our whole lives, our entire societies, you know. And if you think about it, the entire world has been kind of turned off, and something's changed, and something's changed in such a fundamental way. And this whole idea that we don't even know what the future will hold, right? Will it turn back to what it was? It doesn't feel that way. And when will it turn back? So this idea of tuning into resurrection, this resurrection energy, I think we're all calling for it. We're calling for, you know, a new way to live our lives, a new way to walk in this world, a new connection with spirit, new meaning. All these kinds of things have been put into our faces to be questioned. So I think it's really timely to really start calling in this resurrecting energy and hope for a new future. That's what's coming through for me.
Yes, really powerful. Thank you for naming what was coming through that is so relevant for all of us. I'm going to start to read this, and then when I finish, Nicole, if you feel you want to continue reading onto the next page, please do. So I'll just read this, and then we can talk about it. So the womb, this is from page 97. Womb Church, the original mystery school. Over time, sacred symbols of the yoni rebirthed into the symbols of Jesus, who, like Mary Magdalene, secretly became the repository for many of the symbols, ideas, and seeds of a womb shaman. Tools of a womb shaman. My eyes aren't what they used to be. The sacred fish, now adopted by Christians as a sign of Jesus, was a yoni symbol dating back several thousand years and was part of the greater Vesica Pisces design, meaning the sacred vessel of the fish. This encoded the mystery school teachings of the cosmic sexual union of the masculine and feminine in the central yoni womb space, the almond-shaped mandorla. Audaciously, the glorious mandorla yoni was often shown surrounding iconic pictures of Jesus and the Virgin Mary throughout Catholic imagery, imbuing them with a forgotten lunar magic. I just want to pause here because I know that the page before it has some beautiful symbols, and maybe, yes, Nicole, just speak so that the camera goes to your camera.
The camera goes to my camera?
Yeah, so that while you're holding that up, people can focus on you. If the recording, if they're on the mobile and just going to see the image of whose voice is talking.
I could also share my screen. I have it up on the Kindle.
Oh, wonderful,
Maybe
Freddie.
that's best.
Yeah, do that because then it'll be a clearer image.
You have
Thank
to make
you.
me host. Make me host.
I will. One moment. Yeah, I had to pause there because this book is so dense. The transmissions are so powerful that even a sentence you kind of want to sit with. All right, your host. So just letting that settle in and then just take a look at some of this imagery. And I'll just
Sorry about the page. What
continue.
page was it?
97 in the book. So I'll continue while you pull that up.
Here it is. Can you see it?
It's actually the
Oh,
page before, but that's great too.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's
that's
that
the
as well.
Lexicopices, Gondola.
So was there more? There was another page you wanted to share?
No, this is the page that it's related to this
That has
part.
images.
The other page is actually related to page 95, Womb Cross and the Tree of Life.
Okay. Yeah, those are beautiful too. Maybe we can just look at those while I continue reading. Um, Church as womb, in quotes. Church as womb symbology continued in Christian architecture up to the Middle Ages, as seen in the design of the Gothic cathedrals across Europe, which featured hidden in plain sight womb religion symbology of arced yoni entryways and grail rose stained glass windows, at times with a black Madonna mother goddess figure hidden in a dark underground crypt, symbolic of Earth's womb. Symbols act directly on our feminine consciousness, singing like ancient mermaids, reminding us of the lost grail. This legacy speaks anew to each generation. This legacy speaks anew to each generation, calling us back to the red ruby of remembrance. It reminds us that the symbols and rites of the goddess and the keys to her womb queendom were taken by a theology that jailed her. The keys to her womb queendom were taken by a theology that jailed her, stealing her sacred powers in order to dethrone her. Stealing her sacred powers in order to dethrone her. Authentic mystery schools and moon colleges sought to preserve the old teachings, and as they took their last breaths, they infused their grail symbols into the new Christian religion, creating a secret passageway back into the womb of creation. Powerful, powerful to think on that. And we still do that, you know, in developmental psychology. We talk about how when it's not safe or when our power is taken away, we secret it within our bodies to be resurrected later. So, on a microcosm scale, as on a macrocosm scale. Do you want to read that last sentence right after that? It is not time. Is it not time? we reclaimed our collective symbology and re-enchanted our world? Is it not time we reclaimed our collective symbology and re-enchanted our world? That's a call to action, right? The power is within us as individuals to make the world what it needs to be in order to sustain life, for life to thrive, to nurture life, for all lives, for our children, for our communities, our brothers and sisters across the planet, and for the plants, and for the earth herself, and for the waters.
Yes, and I love how Fred said earlier, you know, and related to how we've been into this challenges of this year, and now we are giving an opportunity to resurrect or rebirth ourselves. I like to think that we are still in this womb hole and sort of like portal, where yeah, we don't know what is the outcome, and there are many possibilities and probabilities, and it's now more than ever before in our hands to co-birth and co-create with this birthing field. And there's so many tools that are available, and yeah, and the possibilities are incredible, although that right now there's so many other things that are unfolding, like the burnings of, you know, in the States, but also in Brazil. And there's, you know, that's the paradox as well, but I feel that we can relate this to also to this resurrecting, you know, and there is a process of dying, that is part of the process. And we see also with the situation of this year that it has come to the surface, death, in a way to actually befriend that and embrace this aspect, that it's so important in the cyclical nature. And I'm pretty sure that many can relate. I mean, I can sure say that I've been invited to many deaths um, this year, more than ever. I feel that sometimes there is a rebirth every week, but certainly every month.
Yeah, both within the news and within our bodies and within our systems, right?
So also we can
Across all
become more
levels.
chalice of living light, so we can let die what, you know, it's part of the old systems, that it's outdated and it's not serving life, and happens, and that happens also within us as well. Yeah, I would like to read briefly this other page that came through, which is talking about the chalice of living light, awakening the resurrection body. I'm just going to read, this is on page 139. I'm just going to read a couple of paragraphs that I think this is also very beautiful and relevant, um, to also this burning that it's happening in the state and also in Brazil, and I hope it's not gonna begin in other countries as well. Is that okay?
Yes, yes. That, yeah, not too long ago there were also severe fires in Africa as well.
Australia last year.
In
Australia.
Australia. Oh my goodness.
Yes, yes. There's a very beautiful area of Brazil that it's so rich with fauna and flora, and it's, yeah, there's a lot of fires happening there, and of course there's, the government is not doing much about it. So uh, this part on page 139, it also speaks about this renewing of this living waters. And I think this is so relevant um, for the waters of Gaia, for us to renew our inner waters. So these ancient symbols and rituals of renewing living waters contain deep alchemical secrets. The world is slowly waking up to the knowing that ancient myths, rituals, and practices were not only spiritual, but founded in miraculous biological reality. In past times, science and spirituality was not divided. The sacred often encoded scientific truth. This was the basis of endocrine alchemy, the knowledge of how to renew and restore the human blueprint on a biological level. Ancient male and female shamans reached states of at-one-ment with Creator and the web of life, receiving profound wisdom and cellular awakening. These religious epiphanies were often initiated by the alchemy of biological processes and fluids. Across ancient cultures, annual renewal rituals were celebrated to embody the incredible spiritual, cyclical powers of the womb. More than a symbolic ceremony, it revealed the knowledge of the womb as a holographic replica of Source. The knowledge of this life-bestowing renewal rituals has mostly been lost, distorted, or more often reappropriated into patriarchal systems and myths.
Yeah, our bodies are the crucible for these alchemical transformations. And the indigenous cultures around the world that are still living, lineages still know this and still practice this and are sharing this wisdom now. The secrets that were kept closely guarded are our medicine for this resurrection now.
Yes.
For everyone.
Yes,
Everybody needs to be ignited. That flame of life within, that alchemical transformation needs to happen. We all need to step forward and be active and activate our voices to get that power that was taken away and severed from us, put it back in alignment and use it to affect change in the world with the gifts and the power that is our birthright, that spirit brought forth through this vessel to enact in our communities. Thank you for reading that. It really is linked right back up to that resurrection piece. Freddie.
And I think it's very related. I like how it's the spirituality and science. I was today reading and researching a little bit as I was having a bit of a download and insight. So the unified field and how that actually so much comes together with this womb field, right? And how science has advanced, started with Einstein, and now there is already some backup, and I was watching a video from this amazing guy, and after reading this, I'm really thinking like, we are this living waters. Our body is 70% of water. The body of the earth is 70% of water. and the importance now to resurrect um, this living waters, that it's coming, the plasma, that it's coming from the sun. There's so many different aspects that maybe we can go into that in another topic, but um, activating this memory, this hologram of the source womb, or this great womb, that it actually is within our living waters, within our blood, within our um, and within the earth as well. I feel that we know that the ancestors coded a lot of those wisdom within the waters, and Gaia is allowing it to flow again. It's time to flow again.
And it
So,
needs to be said that, modern Western science, the, so-called Western civilization, this dominant, colonizing culture that's pioneering all this technology, it needs to be said that they're still far behind the living indigenous technologies. They are these medicine mystery colleges were teaching the uh, living science, the natural technologies, this wisdom that runs deep and has such insight into all that, all the elements, all the energy flows, chi, and I mean, cultures across the world. And the Vedic texts go into it so deeply. I really want to study those. But yes, Fred, jump in. You're muted.
As we tap into this woman hara energy, we get such a quickening of our healing process, and it really kind of brings on these parts of our psyche, to have a union between the masculine and feminine, because we talk a lot about womb energy and feminine energy, but really it's about not only bringing out the feminine, but also being able to heal the masculine, so then the masculine can heal the feminine. This is what we're talking about with sacred union. It's the union of the masculine and the feminine within us, that it becomes balanced. And that's what I feel is coming through this opportunity, this quarantine that we are on. How ironic would it be if it was 9 months long, from March, and then come the end of this year, we're all come out. And are we coming out reborn, or are we going to come out and need to then be reborn? It's kind of like hand in hand, but it's really like a global phenomena that's happening, that when this is going to be tied up and we're going to be able to leave our homes, who are we going to leave our homes as? And what are we going to be expecting? And how do we want to live our lives? And can we live our lives as in sacred union with ourselves, in the balance of our masculine and feminine, and in the seat of our power? And if we're not there, can we develop the tools that we can hold each other as a society, so that we can heal and we can move into new directions and leave the old paradigms behind, paradigms that don't serve us anymore?
So how do we do that?
How do we do that? We do
Well,
practices like we're about to.
yeah, we're gonna do a little practice, and we just tuned into this one, and after tuning in even deeper and reading, doing the readings, and it's just so perfect. It's a perfect way to kind of embody what we were just talking about. And what we're gonna do is basically form the shape of a Y with our arms and torso. And you can do this seated, or it's recommended to do it standing or kneeling, because it does open up those energy channels to be able to basically become the living chalice, allowing, inviting, and opening the channels to receive this living light down through your body to help clear those channels and root down into the earth. And that's why it's recommended, you know, not to do it seated, because then you bend here, but you can still root down through your roots. But if you do it kneeling with your pelvis, you know, hips pressed forward, or standing, then you can go clear down through the channels down to the soles of your feet as your roots. Just kind of a direct line, but you can imagine it bending. I'm going to adjust and stand up, I feel. And so you can see me. And then we'll just guide you through it. So I invite you to stand up. Maybe I'll kneel. Just so that I can feel this moving down through those psoas muscles, opening that hip crease up, and
if you're at home, you're going to do this, just go and try to hold your arms up there as long as possible. It might be a little bit painful. It might be a little bit awkward at first. What we try to do is we do this over, you know, a moon cycle. So you try to do it every day for a whole moon cycle, and each day, you know, you'll get more energy and more information and more aligned with the grail energy, your heart energy, and rooted into the earth.
And it should be said also, you know, many of us carry, you know, have these guardians in our shoulders and in our neck, you know, different places in our body. But this shoulder and neck area, this can be really intense. And you can have, if you do it long enough and regularly enough, you can have cathartic breakthroughs, weeping, you know, ecstatic laughter. I mean, just this simple practice. We learned this with Azra Bertrand and Saren Bertrand, and it was part of a longer body prayer. But just this one was really powerful. I remember when I first started it, because we would hold it, I think, for like 7 minutes. We're not going to do that long tonight.
And like this as well.
Oh, yeah.
So it was,
yes.
it was
Looking
even
with your
more.
eyes open, just divine mother, you know, embrace, I surrender. And so I would put a little rolled scarf or blanket so that my neck could just release, because I didn't have that rotation, and I had, you know, all this contraction when I did this, you know, 6 years ago. And so you might find that that's painful. And, you know, if you want to bend your arms or hold them a little forward, to just allow yourself to feel a little more comfortable and balanced and work your way towards this more open position, then that's okay. There are no have-tos in this gentle, feminine, you know, womb awakening ways, you know, practicing opening. It's just an invitation for self-inquiry, for body practices and prayers and moving energy. And yeah, so it's not like you have to do it this way. You can also discover a way that works for you for this moment in time. Okay.
Is there anything you want to add?
Yes, I would like to add that also you can notice that you might actually hold tension here, you know, so you can do this with like a soft arm or actually tensing up here. So just pay attention and then invite yourself to actually soften and open. And I actually also, if I feel quite some time it's beginning to hurt my shoulders, and if you have like a shoulder injury or anything, as Diana said, you can either put your hands down or even like kind of move the arms. Ideally, we want to stay a bit like this, but if you really feel it hurting, then you can actually sort of make some movements and, you know, allowing the energy to come through, but not um, suffering with the pain. And another interesting thing that I also experienced when I first begun with this practice 6 years ago is that after some time I was able to transmute the pain into this sort of devotional, like, because we were doing for quite some time and with the neck like this, so it was really challenging. So this is another thing that you might want to see, like if you actually can shift your awareness from feeling maybe pain or tension to actually surrendering to receiving this living light, this living water, this renewal water.
Yeah, and thank you for mentioning that movement. You know, it's really about listening to your body, learning to listen to your own intuitive cues, right? So if you're this part of your body is telling you, I really want to move this way, listen to, let it, right? We tend to stop the flow because we've been trained to. So we're de-schooling, unlearning what we've learned and remembering our divine, essence. Okay. Nicole, would you like to lead us into it?
Okay. So I'm gonna do standing up, but anyone that feels like staying sitting down, if you are sitting down, just uncross your legs and have your feet, the soles of your feet touching the ground. And just take a moment to actually feel this connection to the earth with your feet. And then whenever you're ready, you can just gently begin to raise your hand with presence, your hands, your arms. So maybe before, even just take a couple of breaths right here, feeling the strength of your body. Maybe if you're standing, bend your knees, have your knees soft, but feel the strength in your legs. And then have your arms firm, feel the strength also in the palms of your hands, feel it activating. And then begin to raise your arms gently. Just really breathing and exhaling, maybe allowing some gentle sounds as you breathe out. And on your own timing, just raise your hands in a V shape. Feel again your fingers, the strength in your palms. And then notice if you're holding some tension in your shoulders, then just soften a bit and become this chalice. Allow your body to be open to receive this cosmic liquid light that is being poured out from the great womb, the great birthing portal that has and continues to birth, rebirth everything in creation. You might begin to feel your fingers tingling, and just continue to breathe and feel. You can let your head and your neck fall back a little bit. Just adjust your body. Just keep breathing in this nourishing light as you invite your body to become the living chalice of this renewal waters, the primordial codes.
And you may begin to feel heat being generated in the chalice of your body. You might feel places of constriction, places of expansion. Know that the arms are extensions of your heart. How much can you open your heart and receive the powerful, limitless energy that can be poured down into and through this vessel? You may notice that it gets blocked at certain places, maybe right behind the neck, the head, where the head meets the neck, the ultra major, or maybe behind your shoulders, or maybe behind your heart, like this lunar body behind what you normally can just see. We don't always sense. Maybe there's a block behind our solar plexus, or behind our womb, around our sacrum, or in the crease of our hips. All these places, right? Preventing the flow from descending, really rooting down. Our energy tends to rise when we're afraid, or because of whatever life situation we've experienced throughout our developmental childhood years and cycling on up through till the age we are now. And these become habitually blocked energy centers, right? But we need to keep maintaining these channels. You might feel shaking and pulsing. I'm starting to feel some in my solar plexus, radiating outward. Allow this energy to move and to open up, right? There's usually this thing that happens on the precipice of change. We grip, we hold, we fear, we maybe even panic, we cling, we go through a descent into the depths of darkness and death, and then we come out of it more expanded, expansion. The warmth of the muscles slowly start to melt any blocks that have accrued over time. If it's too much to keep tilting your head back, you can bring it back up and then expand again, or again soften the shoulders and the arms, and then just breathe, root yourself, feel those channels opening, and try to extend and activate those fingertips. I forgot, I've had my eyes closed. I tend to do that and get really visual in dream time, but you can open your eyes. And maybe it's too much to continue and you can pause and start again, but I encourage you to move through those thresholds and see if you can go a little farther. Just gently lean into your edge, but also listen to your intuitive knowing when the edge is too much. Okay? Right now it's feeling good to turn my neck and move it like this. And I'm beginning to feel complete for now.
I also want to mention that I'm not going to do this at the moment because I have the windows open, and here in Budapest it's a bit late already, but you can also sound out. Perhaps I'm feeling the pressure in my shoulders and in this part. Today I had some work in this area, so it's really tender, and it feels very right to, as I'm yawning, it feels right to also allow some of the tension that we might hold in this area, and perhaps it's some armors around receiving or anything, regardless, but just to voice out and allow some sounds. Trust in the, if it feels right for you to sound that out. And then, of course, I feel very much of moving my hands and feeling the energy and actually moving the energy that I received here, and now allowing it to wave down, to flow down, to waterfall down.
Notice where you feel alive, this electrical pulse of life or this charge. I feel my fingertips and hands are really charged. You can use this energy and place it on your body or send it out into the world. All of this loving divine light that you've been holding in the chalice that's been pouring down through you. You know, if you've got a sore shoulder, feel that pulse of liquid light, that healing liquid light. And we could go on and on with this journey, but for now, yeah, I just encourage you to extend that liquid loving light out to everywhere in the world. We all need this healing. We all need this energy to persevere through these changes, to give us courage, to rise up, empower our voices, our inner knowing, our confidence in taking right action in the world in whatever way our gifts come forth within our bodies, within conversations we have with ourselves or with our families, within our communities, with our clients. Within courtrooms, within police stations, within legal offices, within political communities, within the White House, within the lands and our farms, within our soil. Send this light out to all the sweet waters that we drink, that nourish our foods and our bodies and life. This is why we do this work. This is why we continue to maintain our vessels. What we do for ourselves is for all life. Whew. Fred, I want to invite you to bring us to a close.
You just did such a beautiful job. Well, I want to thank my sisters here, Diana and Nicole, and give myself thanks for showing up today, and thanks for everyone who's tuned in to this energy, all who have tuned in from the seen and unseen world. I want to thank our ancestors and our guides and our teachers. I want to thank Azra and Saren. And I want to thank all the beings who are helping facilitate this resurrection. And know that we're all held in this love, womb love, this love of creation, and that this is the birthplace of hope and creativity and love. And as we weave our days together, and when we get afraid of what the future can hold, let us tune back into this golden energy and know that a great opening of our hearts and our souls are coming forth, and that the world that lives tomorrow is created today out of the hope and love and dreams that we hold. May we all walk in love and compassion and empathy. May we learn to be compassionate and listen, deeply listen to the dreams and pains and the experiences of our brothers and sisters, so that we can bring forth a beautiful new world as protectors of this earth, as nurturers of the soil, as the farmers and the teachers and the adventurers that we are. So be it. So it is.
And so it is. Ashe. Aho. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. That was just a little taste, and it was so powerful. It's always good, even in small ways, adding a little bit into our daily practice. Um, Also want to invite anybody who's interested in really diving in a more advanced way to keep tuning um, these this chalice to be of greater service to our families, our clients, and our communities. I invite you to um, journey with us. Today is a final, at the end of the early bird registration for Nine Moon Journey that the three of us are going to be facilitating. And we'll share that link, that information in this description or in the comments below this live feed.
Nicole, would you like to take us out?
Yeah, I would like to share what it's coming through for me, but it's just some sacred words that wants to be whispered. Ya yuna hiwa, ye yuwa, ye yuwa hina, ye yuwa. Ye yuwa hina, ye yuwa. EmRahMa. Thank you.
Namaste, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye.
We should do this periodically. This was really nice. Let's come back again and eventually, for those of you watching again in our Womb Awakening Book Club, we will keep weaving with spirit and see what we can do either regularly or periodically here with you, for you. Okay. Peace around the world. Good night, good morning, wherever you are. Love you.